Hi, this is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. Holla.
All right. Good morning. Good morning, everybody. This is Faith, and you are watching The Faith Factor. You know what? I'm going to start my morning off with something positive. I just want to say hello to all the beautiful people out there. Hello to all the beautiful light skin, beautiful dark skin, beautiful heavy, beautiful skinny, beautiful everybody. I just wanted to say morning, morning, morning and spread some positivity because there's a lot of negativity. There's enough negativity going around. Um, yeah, plenty of negativity. And I stepped away from YouTube for a few days because I just saw, how it was just tumbling. It was tumbling down a really, really negative downward spiral that was so toxic. And it was starting to really, really vex my spirit just to see how negative the space had gotten. And I was just like, you know what? Let me just step away for a minute because I didn't want none of that stank and none of that toxicity to rub off on me because I tend to love to be a positive person and be about giving, viable solutions to life, positive feedback, that sort of thing. I'm not about the negativity. So I was on here and I was looking at a few different people, that like to, go on lives and stuff like that. I look at GMT. I'm going to get into a couple of his streams that I saw. Then someone came into my chat room last week, someone I don't know, don't recognize. And, every time it's somebody doing the water carrying for someone, they always come in under an account that you've never seen before. You don't know who this person is. You never seen them at all, ever, whatsoever. So they come in and they post, they want to let me know that somebody was talking trash about me on their channel. They want to make sure that I knew. And so I just said to myself, enough is enough. I need a vacation. I do because I don't take this as serious as other people. I'm beginning to realize that I'm not that serious. I'm not about that YouTube life like some of these other people. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for filing in. I see Bloop Bloop in here and Successful MD, Cassandra Brown, and Femi from the chat. Good morning, girl. Yeah, but you know what? When I did the self evaluation, because that person posted in my chat room, they wanted me to go and see what this other person whatever negative thing they had to say about me. They made sure that they sent their minion, and I know it was that person that sent their minion over to my chat room so that I could go and look at this video that this person is a negative person. They never have good advice. They never have anything good to say. I don't even know why I went there, but I went there and I listened and felt absolutely nothing. I heard what that person had to say, and it was nothing they had never said before. Like a year and a half ago, when I was actually still fucking with this person, they said this very same stuff to me back then. And me and this person agreed that we don't fuck with each other. And I never went back over there, and she never comes to my channel. And that was supposed to be the end of it. But I guess apparently not. So apparently, On the first of the year, she has a list of people. She's rattling off this little shit list. And I'm supposed to be scared and I'm supposed to care. And I logged off YouTube and I asked myself, am I scared? Do I really care? And I just can't muster up the energy to give a damn. I just can't. So I was spending time with, friends and family because the holidays are coming up. It's the countdown, guys. Countdown to the Christmas holiday. And, I'm noticing this year that a lot of people are not doing as much holiday shopping as they used to. The economy is pretty, toe up right now. And that is the elephant, that is the silent elephant in the room. They're not, saying that we're in a recession, but I'm looking around. I do deliveries, and I noticed that people not buying stuff like they used to. This time last year, maybe the year before, it was a madhouse. People were buying stuff out the wazoo. Now it's like not a whole lot of traffic of people purchasing stuff. So this economy is going down. And another thing that I've been noticing when I go to the gym, I notice that there are people sleeping in their cars. I notice that, I'm starting to see a lot of that going on now. So this economy is collapsing. So when I look at the grand scheme of things, the grand scheme of life, I can't really find the energy to care about what people think about me on YouTube or Facebook or Instagram or any of these social media outlets. I can't. I just come here, do my content, and my content isn't for everyone. Nobody's content is. That's the reason why you have the ability to hit not interested if you see someone coming up in your suggestions. You can hit not interested if you don't like their content. Don't know if any of you knew that. So, this person, still has a problem with my Better Class of Woman or Women series. Ever since I said there is a better. And, this right here has been, the thing that person has centered on. And they claim they don't know me. Well, when I did try to share something pretty devastating that happened to me in my life, sharing turned into people tearing me down and doing a lot of finger pointing and judging and everything else. So you know that was on me, because when you share, you got to expect that people are going to do this. So I made my peace with it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I shared a bit of my life with people, and now I am making the decision to share less as a direct response to how I was treated when I did share. And I think that's fair. I don't have to share. Anybody that gets on here and they decide to open up to their audience, they do so at their own, how can I say, expense. You have to proceed with caution when you're sharing on this platform, because there are going to be people that are going to judge you. They're going to take what you say and twist it up. They're going to, do a lot of things with what you share. So I get people talking about I don't know Faith. Well, the reason why you don't know Faith is because if Faith shares with you, Faith has to be very, very careful what she's putting out there because people are messy. Exactly. Successful MD hit the nail on the head. Messy. People are messy. So for that reason, I don't share as much. I'm very, very intentional about the content that I put out, and especially about things that I share in my life. I'm very, very protective of my children, grandchildren, and family because of this particular platform and how we as Black people like to do each other on here. You got people that are giving other people's addresses out, that's not safe. You got people on here, telling other people's business, posting people's whole names, it's a lot of fuckery. So, next time you ever wonder why this a certain content creator isn't so forthcoming with their business, because that's basically what it is. Basically they want to know your business so that they can use it to dox you or you know launch a smear campaign. So they want you to get on here and tell your business. They want you in the back chats so that you can get comfortable with everybody and you tell your business. And I don't care how close of friends you think you are with people online. Every time you open your mouth and tell your business, they're going to use your business one day against you. So that is why I don't get on here now sharing like I used to. Now I'll still, give my pithy words of wisdom and share some insights. I can do that without telling all my business. Exactly, Femi. Femi says, yeah, that's true. I better watch what I say to people. Exactly. Because you don't know who is connected to who on here. There are people on here that are connected with each other. They go on the back chats and they are singling people out and making people targets. And that's some of these people, that's their content, to target other content creators. So they pick fights with you sometimes so that they can have going back and forth, and it's exciting and it drives traffic to their channel. And for some people, beefing is their content. So they'll try to, strum up some attention to their channel by starting up some mess, kicking up some shit with somebody. So, it doesn't work with me because the person will always be having a one-sided argument. It's never going to work with me because I'm never going to give you the time of day. That's just how I handle things. Some people just, they're not worth your energy. They're energy vampires. They have that negative, toxic energy that they got to get off because they're not happy with their lives. And so they see you over here happy, go lucky, doing your content, hanging with your friends. You're going where everybody knows your name. You have a level of respect in the space, and they're jealous and they're miserable, and they want to spread that jealousy and that misery. I already know what that is. And I don't wish anybody any malice. I'm not being malicious even when I ignore you. I'm doing this because it's the best thing for you and me. Because now me, I do have a mean streak in me. I'm not gonna lie. I do. Everybody does. Everybody does. Everybody has a dark side. So it's not just me. And I do know that for me, when I start delving into my dark side, I start telling truths about people. Because the truth is more decimating than a lie. The truth will tear a person down faster than anything a lie will tell. And I got a way of being very intuitive about people. And I'll sit up here and I'll read your whole little life and destroy you with not even a cinder left, just with the truth. Because God put that gift in me to discern it. And because I know my gifts, I also know how I can use them for evil. So I rein myself in. I have self control. Femi says, yeah, that's true. I better watch what I say to people. Oh, I read that already. She also says, yeah, because they are always trying to put me in their beefs. Nah, not me, player. Exactly. Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, because I'm going to tell you, I've been on here for over 10 years. Hell, it's been about 13 years. And I've seen all the tricks, all the little games that people play, the back chat the footsie that people play. And I see them come on to the live stream, and some of them are smarter than others, and they try to bait you in. And I just sat there and I looked at this person, the water carrier, or maybe it was the content creator themselves under a different account, talking about some, oh, this person's talking crap about you, and I'm supposed to, get this battery in my back, get charged up, and want to, do a beef video. No, I'm going to pray for you. I'm not even a Christian, y'all, but I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to hope that, whatever's going on with your menopause, whatever's going on with your diabetes and, your health, I'm going to pray that all is well. That's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to take my behind the bed, close my eyes, and not think about you. That's how you handle that. But yeah, I've been on YouTube and I just been, listening to different people's streams. Grandmaster Troll, another very talented YouTuber. I love me some GMT. His content, even though he doxes people, and I don't necessarily agree with that. He's been anti-manosphere for a number of years now. But it was kind of it was funny to me. He recently did a live stream about his dealings with a woman by the name of Creative Solutions, and you guys go over to GMT and check out his stream. It was very eye opening. I think he did two live streams about her, as a matter of fact. I think he did. And what was really interesting to me about that particular live stream, and like I said, I love GMT. He's one of my favorite YouTubers. I go to his channel all the time when I need to escape the monotony. And I am so grateful to that brother for that. I've donated many a times to his channel. So, I support my brother. But this particular time, he was going after this young lady because she owed him $100. $100 he lent her because I guess she was in dire need or whatever. And I think that they were calling themselves dating. Good morning, Robert Benjamin. I think they were calling themselves dating. And so, for whatever reason, it didn't work out. They went their separate ways, but she called him in dire need, needing the money. She borrowed it. She doesn't, um, dispute the fact that she borrowed this money. And I guess she never paid him back. And this was enough to garner a live stream about the whole situation. Now, see, I would have been completely on board with it from the very beginning if he had said that this happened a month ago, maybe 2 months ago, even 3 months ago. But you let a year and a half go by with the situation. And then now, you and the person have been talking in between, maybe not every day, but, sparsely, not a lot, because they said they didn't talk a lot, but they still talked. So you didn't have a problem with this person when you all were still, communicating. But now, a year and a half later, here comes the live stream. You're a thief, you're a bitch, you're this, you're that. Well, he didn't call her bitch, but he played the song at the beginning of one of his live streams, talking about bitches and all this other stuff. So we get it. I got the gist. And he was really, really mad about that $100. Like I've been knowing GMT and been knowing his content and everything for a number of years, and he was pretty upset about that $100. So then I remembered, oh, this was a while back. There was another woman that he had been seeing offline. Her name was called Real Life Is Not in Cyberspace. And I don't know if anybody that watches GMT remembers the live stream he did about her, but he did the live stream talking about this is why you don't date women on YouTube or something like that. And I remember him recounting how crazy she was, and she bust the windows out his car. And on that live stream, though, he was laughing about the situation. He doxed her a little bit, but not really. He didn't really dox her. It was just kind of like, a lighthearted, situation where he wasn't really taking it seriously what she did, even though she destroyed his property. She bust the windows out his car. What's that song? I bust the windows out your car. I didn't. Da, 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 da. Who was that? Melanie Fiona. I bust the windows out your car. She bust the windows out his car. Now, for me, that particular situation right there, I would have been, playing the bitch song. I would have even called her a bitch. I probably would have doxed her. I probably, guys, I would have been mad. Somebody bust the windows out my car. You know what I'm saying? Exactly, Cassandra Brown. The damage to his car was more than $100. So, I had to ask myself, what is the difference between real life in cyberspace busting the windows out GMT's car and Creative Solutions owing him $100? Well, I hate to bring up the colorism argument. However, I'm gonna go there. I just happen to know that real life in cyberspace, might be, I think she has one white parent. Real life in cyberspace has one white parent, so she's a preference, she's a preference. And so he wasn't all that mad with her, he was mad, but not that mad. He could chuckle about that, and it was all fun and games on that live stream. But with creative solutions, you a thief. And it's about the principle. He said the principle. And I said, wow, imagine that. And I felt where he was coming from, because, if someone borrows money from you, they are supposed to pay you back. So when I was on that live stream, I did say to Creative Solutions, you're wrong. If you owe the man the money, you should pay him back. However, in looking at this thing in totality and comparing it to other situations, it just didn't seem fair. It really didn't. Let's see. Cassandra Brown says skin color, and the one who allegedly damaged the car is with it. She won't easily back down. Exactly. Exactly. That too. And what really, really sickened me about the whole thing. Now, GMT, he didn't call her out her name or anything like that, but there were men on the panel when she came up there that were allowed to talk under this woman's skirt, talking about, hey, maybe you should have gave up the box. This was, it was highly uh it was real disrespectful. It got real low down and just disrespectful, and how they were doing this woman over $100. So now I'm thinking to myself, you done got your money's worth. You done smutted this woman out. You done let the men come up there and smut her out. You got about $100 worth. Because it really wasn't worth all that. Y'all could have, handled that offline, or whatever. Or if you want to do your live stream, put everybody in the bag. You and her just have a conversation. But you smutted the woman out. She got smutted out on your channel. And I do think that it's because, of the skin tone, because GMT is very honest. He says, his preference is light skin. He likes light skinned women. And I don't knock a person for their preference. And to be honest and to be fair, GMT ain't never, put no dark skinned woman down because he likes light skinned women. So I respect him for that. But I didn't respect how Creative Solutions was treated in that situation. I just saw that as, as being unnecessary, because I don't think it was about that $100. I don't think it was just about the principle. Something else went down. Had to. Because if everything is about principle, then real life is not in cyberspace. That broke the windows out your car should have been facing criminal charges. If it's about the principle, what I'm saying, it's principalities. So if we talk about the principle, she bust the windows out your car, she should have paid you for it, and or she should have been facing criminal charges, because she did actually commit a crime. Destruction of property that don't belong to you is a crime. Far worse than someone not paying a $100 loan back. So I observe certain things, and I look at them and I analyze it, and I'm like, Yeah, that was a fucked up situation all the way around. Didn't like it. I logged off and went to bed because it was just getting kind of, ratchet McNasty. And I'm glad that she finally got off the panel too. And you got your money's worth from that. Whatever you were trying to do by calling her out and making the live streams, mission accomplished. I think you got your money's worth. Plus, I think somebody paid you anyway, so you got your money's worth from that. Moving along. And Femi from the chat says, I feel it's her skin color too, because too many men be trying to down that girl and call her ugly. Yeah, I do. And I saw her, she cammed up, and she's a nice looking chocolate woman. Very voluptuous of the body. She's top heavy and bottom heavy, so she's more or less an hourglass. So, she has a beautiful shape, and she's dark skinned. I heard one guy, I think it was Peso Man, he was talking about how GMT was complaining about how small the room was and it was dark, and only thing he could see was her teeth, and he got to, blurting out, "Oh, you must be real dark then, you must be black as hell." That was his that was the exact words. She must be black as hell. And I said, "Ooh, boy, Lord, won't they reveal themselves? Won't they reveal themselves?" You know, have you guys ever watched that movie called Alice, starring Kiki Shepard? Kiki, I'm not Shepard, Kiki Palmer. And the movie was about a person who was actually kept on a modern day slave camp, and it was like 1970, and the person thought that they was still living in the 1800s. They had black people who were born on this modern day slave camp that didn't know they were free, and they were being beaten, and they had to work and slave just like the slaves did back in the 1800s. And so one day she got the notion that she was going to run away. She got 2 miles away from that place, and that's when she realized that black people were free, that it was just on that plantation that they all were too afraid to leave, that they were not free. Movie's called Alice. Yes, bro, speak. I was talking about that creative solution in GMT drama. I moved away from that though. So I say this to say this about black people. That movie was based on a real story. It's based on a true story, and they actually did an interview with the woman that was part of that slave camp, plantation or whatever. And she says she still has PTSD to this day about what she experienced. What's up, BMT? Bro, BMT? She says she still has PTSD from that, guys, because she said she didn't know who to trust. She said she knew that she couldn't trust white people. But she said what really, really shook her was that she couldn't trust the modern day black people. And you want to know why she said she couldn't trust us, the modern day black people? Because she said we sounded just like the slave masters back on the plantation. The way that we talked about ourselves as a people, the way we referred to ourselves. She said she couldn't trust black people either. because we sounded like massa. And when I saw that interview, I was like, wow, it really blew my mind because that says a lot about our mentality as a group. A person that escaped the slave camp thinking that they lived in the 1800s and finding out that their whole life is now completely useless and they can't even relate to other black people of today because we sound like the slave masters did back in the 1800s with how we talk to and refer to ourselves as a people. And I had to sit down and I had to think on that for a minute. That stopped me. And then I went back to GMT's live stream and I replayed how they were talking to Creative Solutions. And I imagined myself being Alice listening to this live stream because I wanted to understand where she was coming from when she made that statement. And I can fully understand where she's coming from because you got people up there talking about some, you so black, oh, you're so dark, and this, that, and the other. And, like being black, being dark skinned isn't a crime. White people made that a crime. But now that's what we're doing ourselves. We oppress each other. We found ways to have a oppression pecking system amongst ourselves. And for some reason or another, it flies under the radar. Nobody checked Peso Man on that panel for being anti-black, for having anti-black speech, because that's what it is. It's anti-black. And nobody ever calls it out. We do have a pecking order. We do have people that are light skinned that think that they're better because they're light skinned. And they have free range to call you ugly if you're brown or darker than brown and get away with it within our pecking order system because they might have had one white parent or have a lot of Creole running in their family. I see that all the time on here. And to the point where a person of lighter complexion, depending on their proximity to whiteness, can get away with busting the windows out your car. And it's fun and games. It's time to kiki kaka and laugh. But it's okay to abuse a dark skinned woman. I was watching um, Placeholders and Playthings channel, the Spades channel. And he was doing a critique of Dr. Umar Johnson, Brother Umar Johnson. And he was talking about that guy, I forget his name, that actor that got brought up on all these domestic violence charges. And Umar Johnson was saying something to the effect that he shouldn't have never messed with that white woman because you can't touch the white woman. I'm ad-libbing, but he was saying something to that effect. You would have been better off hunting the sisters. This is what Umar Johnson is saying. This is what you get for hunting white women. You would have been better off hunting the sisters. So basically, what he's saying without really saying it, Brother Umar is basically saying you're better off abusing black women. You're better off being abusive. Jonathan Majors, thank you, Broke Speaks. Thank you so much. But that's basically what Brother Umar was saying. And I couldn't believe it. So now when I hear black people being anti-black and saying the things that they're saying, I imagine that I'm Alice. And I put myself in Alice's shoes. And I think to myself, Alice, you're right. We are all anti-black. We do talk like master. We do pedestalize our oppressors by mimicking them. We do this because we tell each other it's okay to hurt each other. It's okay to do abuse to another brown skin or dark skinned person or black person. It's okay for us to do that to each other. But it's not okay to return fire on our oppressor. That's not okay. So if real life is not in cyberspace has a white mama, it might not be safe to go after her. Might not be safe. Plus, she's a pistol. She's going to pistol whip you. Might not be safe to touch that. But creative solutions is fair game. And we're going to smut her out for $100. And I began to put two and two together. I began to say, wow, Alice, you're right. This is the culture. You're absolutely right, Alice. And see, people thought I was being anti-black when I stated that some of the things that we did back in the motherland, when during the slave trade, they were at first getting a lot of us from that little region over there in West Central Africa. For the first 250 to 300 years, they were getting us from over there in West Central Africa. And you know what's over there in West Central Africa? It's that Congo. And I keep telling you, what is the Congo? The Congo is the rape capital, murder capital of the world. And that's where a lot of us came from initially during slavery. So if we come from a place where we did heinous things to one another, and then you add oppression of slavery on top of it, I don't think that we broke any of those generational curses, even dating back to the motherland. And yes, some of you are from, have West African heritage, where you're from Nigeria and, all these other places. But that wasn't until 100 years later that they started diversifying where they got people from Africa. But for the first 250 to 300 years, we were coming from that West Central Africa area near the Congo. So I get it. We got a lot of work to do as a group. We got a lot of breaking of curses to do as a people because our mindset is still jacked up, even to this day, where someone that was raised as a slave and didn't know that they were free could escape the plantation and encounter modern day black people, and in their minds we're no better than master. That was a total mind fuck for me. I ain't gonna lie. What's up, Eugene? Still all heart, grit, and grind. Business minded talk says, I heard so much colorism issues from blacks, shaking my head. Yeah, we got all the issues, all of them. We got colorism issues. We got issues with hating each other so much that we want to abuse each other all the time. And we think that the abuse of each other is more permissible than returning fire on our oppressor. We think it is safer than returning fire on our oppressor. Because it ain't safe to return fire on your oppressor, but it is safe to abuse your brother or your sister that's adjacent to you. And that's what I'm seeing with the black community, even with black YouTube, the niggatry that goes on here. We love abuse, we love toxicity, and we think it's entertainment. To the point where we even think that abuse and toxicity is entertainment. We think it's content. Yeah, we messed up. We all messed up. So when I come on here and, I see the abuse, the toxicity, you know, business as usual here in the space, I know exactly what that is. Yes, I do. And it makes me sad. You know, I wish that there could be a time when black people can uplift one another for a change. We use our platforms to educate each other instead of tearing each other down. But that would be boring, right? We can't, do a thing what they call edutainment because that would take a lot of creativity. But we'll do organized fuckery, but we won't do edutainment where you can educate and entertain at the same time. It definitely happens. There are plenty of examples of edutainment where a person can hold an audience's attention and educate them. There are some comedians that have perfected the craft. Some of my favorite comedians have perfected the craft of edutainment. and they sprinkle a little bit of teaching in the comedy. D.L. Hughley's one. Even Cat Williams, he does it every blue moon. Ricky Smiley, Dave Chappelle. You know, he's a jerk and an asshole, but if he's very political, and if you blink a couple of times, you know, you'll not realize that he educated you or put you up on something through his comedy. So there is such a thing as edutainment, but you know, we would rather go to the lower levels of our psyches and, you know, look for fuckery. You know, it's much more interesting to watch a train wreck and to see us tear each other down, driving some people to the point of suicide on here. Why would you want to tear somebody down to the point where that person could be contemplating deleting themselves? But that's what we do, and we make excuse for it, and we say it's just the nature of the beast, as if we don't have complete control over it. You know, then we have the loud, the belligerent, the wrong, the proud, the boastful. And then when people ain't feeling them being loud, belligerent, wrong, proud, and boastful, we're not feeling you. Then it's, oh, everybody's jealous of me. Ain't nobody jealous of you. I'm going to tell you what it is. People tired of your ass. They tired of your loud, belligerent, and boastful ass getting on here and, you know, just causing, wreaking havoc. That nobody's jealous of you. People just jealous. No, no, no. No, people just tired. You know, I like it when black people get tired. And then the people who are causing all the mayhem accuse you of being a hater. Yeah, I'm hating because I'm tired of this bullshit that you keep coming around here with, spreading your toxicity here and far, till you make the whole environment of being black just funky. It's kind of like walking into somebody's fart. That's what it's like dealing with a toxic person. You're just minding your business, and then all of a sudden, the person that was ahead of you just fart, and you walked into that fart, and you like, oh my God, it's funky up in here. That's y'all stink up the place. Y'all be stinking up the place. And then when people turn up their nose and they complain about the stench, you got the nerve and audacity to say that they just hate. So we supposed to like your stinky fart. We supposed to like you stinking up the joint. Ain't nobody supposed to say nothing about you pooting and farting all day. I mean, some of y'all get on this dang on YouTube. Y'all hit the live, go live button, and boy, y'all go live. Pooting, farting, stinking up the joint. And then if they say, why is stinking here? It's funky. Oh, you just jealous. You just jealous. You hating. Stop hating. Well, I'm not hating. I'm just saying it stinks in here. How am I hating if I'm pointing out that it is funky in here? Stinks. Somebody need to open the window. Let some of this funky air out. We in here suffocating. We dying from the funky fumes that you emitting over here. And some people become what they say nose blind. They don't smell the stench. And sometimes not only are they nose blind, but they continue to the stench too. What's up, Can't Hide? I ain't seen you in a while. That's my girl, Can't Hide, in the chat. So now all the funky people get together, stinking up the place. And the people that ain't funky can't say, what's that smell? We can't say why it's stinking here. We can't say why y'all over here farting and you know, stinking up the place like this, and you got all the doors and windows closed. How come we can't get no air? Why we got to be subjected to your stanky funk all the time? You ever been in a car with somebody and somebody farted? Ooh, that happened to me one time. Ooh, I was so mad. I was in the car. It was a long road trip too. And my son sat up in there and farted in the car, y'all. All the windows was up. Just let out a fight. I'm like, what is the smell? Who did this? Right. Can't have, or their breath is kicking. That's how I feel about people that come on YouTube. And they just nothing but toxicity. Nothing but toxicity. You not teaching nobody nothing. You not lifting nobody up. You not educating nobody. You not informing nobody of nothing. You just on here being hateful. You're just being hateful for no goddamn reason every goddamn day. And I mean, some of y'all need a virtual X-Lax so you can go in that goddamn bathroom and get it off because you're full of shit. Get it out. You're backed up. You're full of shit. You got shit that's been backed up on you for years and years that ain't got nothing to do with what you talking about. It happened probably in your childhood. You've been backed up since childhood with shit. And I'm telling you, you need to take that virtual X-Lax and get it out. Right? Can't have steady running they funky ass mouths with the stink breath, or talking out your ass with the poop butt, spreading your funkiness and toxicity around. Hold on a second. This comment just took me out. Oh Lord. Hold on a second. Ken has said we getting shitted on like the women in Dubai. Right. Exactly. Exactly. That's what it's like. And I'm caught up in this algorithm because I made the mistake of watching these people, subscribing to these people. So I'm not gonna say my hands are clean. I was gravitating to the toxicity just like everybody else, mesmerized by the train wreck. And now my algorithm is all fucked up. With every time I look around, YouTube is suggesting another toxic motherfucker for me to subscribe to. Because evidently that's all I listen to. And now I'm surrounded. See, the before you go and start calling yourself crazy, before you go and you pin something on yourself, I need you to first look around, because see, people will tell you that it's you because you calling out the toxicity. They'll say it's you. But before you go and blame yourself, look around, because you may in fact be surrounded by idiots. You may in fact be surrounded by imbeciles. So before you take that L, not so fast. Look around. Look at the people around you. Imbecile number one, idiot number two, dummy number three. You are surrounded by idiots. So don't take that L. What you got to do is you got to unsurround yourself with these idiotic, toxic people, and do not engage them. Because once you engage them, that'll be of the worst thing you ever did. Because it's like when you leave a breadcrumb out and one roach comes. They'll come in like roaches. They don't die, they multiply. Just like this YouTube algorithm. I went in and I left a breadcrumb for one roach that was toxic, and now all I have is toxic suggestions from YouTube from these goddamn roaches. I'm gonna call the exterminator and clean up my algorithm, because I don't want this. You toxic motherfuckers. I don't want it. You see this picture right here? This is me having a good day. This is me having a great morning. The sun is shining. I got light on my face. And I got a big ass Colgate smile. And I want to continue to have photos like this where I'm happy. But I can't be happy with toxic motherfuckers. I can't smile with toxic motherfuckers. And it's not anything that I'm doing, because I recognize that in this algorithm, I am surrounded by idiots. Yeah, that too. I might have got my freak on last night too. Cat. Girl. So I came on here to wish you all a happy good morning. And I hope you all are having a blissful countdown to your holiday. Christmas is coming. I want you all to focus on spending time with family. I want you all to look around at the people that's not online, but look at the people in your real life. And I want you to cherish the people in your real life more. Focus more time and energy on these people because when they're gone, ooh, you're gonna be in a world of hurt, you're gonna be in a world of pain. Now, my second oldest that came out here, moved out here to Arizona with me, the one that I got into it with, she's been out here with me for about 4 years. And we had our ups and we had our downs. I never gave up on her though, because that's my baby. And so yesterday, she got a job offer out in Indiana. Congratulations to her. She's doing great. Um, and she's gotten custody of her son again. And I dropped her off at the airport yesterday. And boy, I tell you, it was the saddest and most happiest day of my life. I was sad because I miss her like crazy, y'all. Now I'm out here by myself again. I was so sad. I didn't want to see her go because, as much as we argued and fought, but she was company. And you know what? We grew a bond with each other over the last 4 years that's even stronger than what we had before. Yeah. Oh, what's up, Dougie Doug in the house? Doug says, I've changed my algorithm by a massive unsubbing and watching different content. Back to work. You know what, Doug? I've got to do the same. You right. You are absolutely right. Wonder how come I can't highlight Doug comment. There it is. He says, I've changed my algorithm by a massive unsubbing and watching different content. Back to work. And he's absolutely right about that. Right, Eugene. That's how I am. I'm lonely without my family. I love my family. That's who's important. That's who matters. Not these people that you encounter on YouTube when you're just trying to pass time. This is a hobby for me. I just time on here. And if I can, I try to pass some pithy words of them every now and then. But it's not anything that I take so serious that I want to be on here going back and forth and expending energy in toxic conversation with folks. I just don't care that much. I can't even pretend that I'm going to force myself to care like that because I really don't. And yes, Faith is seeing someone very special. And I'm never alone. There's always someone. So this person has been in my corner, has been my rock, has lifted me up many times when I was down. A person that I can really say that I can lean on. I love you too, Can't Hide. She said, I love myself some Faith. Ken Hat also says, I just got off of work tired as hell, but I finally caught Faith laugh. Finally. I know I have not been going live as of late, especially around these holidays. Y'all will notice there's a pattern with my channel. When the holiday season comes, Faith is really, spending time with family, the people that matter. And I was looking at my mom during the Thanksgiving holiday. My mom is sick, y'all. She's scheduled to have surgery January, I think she said January 9th. And I really, really think I'm going to go ahead and move back towards the Midwest to be closer to her. Just something in my spirit is telling me that I need to be close to my mom right now. So I'm going to pack up and I'm going to move back to the Midwest to be with her. I like spending time with my mom. She's a funny lady, very funny, strict but funny as hell. And I cherish all the time that I spend with her, and I eat up every little word that she says. Thank you, can't hide. She says prayers to your mom. I eat up every word that she says. But my mom, I talk to her sometimes about what y'all be doing on here. And my mama told me, she was like, you know what? I don't know why you bother yourself with them folks online. I said, well, some of these folks, they pretty funny. They pretty cool people. And I have a online family with some of you. I do. I love, coming on here and intermingling and interacting with a lot of you. Some of y'all though, I steer clear because the toxicity is overwhelming. Yes, it is. Can't have laughter is the best medicine. The best. But like when I put my daughter on the plane this morning and she set off for the Midwest, and I felt glad that she was going and she got her life back together and she's going to be reunited with her son. I was so happy and so proud of her because I saw her fight for her baby. And I mean, that's when I saw the mother and the woman come out of her. And boy, she was fierce. I didn't have to lift a finger. And I said, yeah, you ready. You ready. And I'm so glad she found her wings and she was able to fly. So happy, but I'm so sad at the same time because that was my little road dog. That was my road dog. We would sit up late some nights and talk and laugh and just to have us a good old time. And I'm gonna miss her. I'm gonna miss her. But that's what's important, guys. Your real relationships outside of this. What are your real relationships like outside of this with the people that really matter? Oh yeah, can't hide nothing but great times ahead. And that's what it should be. I don't have time to, be concerning myself with what a person think about me because they don't like a better class of women. I came up with the concept of a better class of women because I started seeing the trend of the boss bitch, the bad bitch, the Sukiyana, the sexy red. I start seeing the trends of this. And we pass this off as being acceptable womanhood, and we have to protect all women even when they're wrong. And I start seeing this as being a trend. The let you gonna see my ass before you see my face first cut culture. That's what we got going on here. And it's not me, trying to hate, but this is me pointing out the stench in the room. Y'all funking up the place. Can't nobody say it though. It was this one up and coming young lady rapper. They got a few TikTok videos of her. Every concert, she got her ass out. Every concert. So this is what it takes for you to put on a show. You can't put on a show without showing your ass. And I'm not just talking about, a tight outfit or maybe a couple of booty cheeks hanging. She be showing her whole ass. The young people know her name. Every concert, this is what you get. And so people get angry with me when I talk about having some decorum about yourself, respecting yourself as a woman. That you will be judged by the clothes that you wear, how you represent and carry yourself, how you speak to others, how you treat others. You're going to be judged by that. Yeah, Ice Spice or some shit like that can't hide. Ken Hyde also says, I let go of some toxic people, but that made room for more positive people that are on my level and above. They inspire each other to do better in life. Exactly. And see, that's what I was saying on BMT's live stream that he did this morning. BMT did a live stream this morning. It was excellent. And I told him, I said, yeah, your friends hold you accountable, but more importantly, they add value to your life. If you're not surrounding yourself by people that not only are they going to hold you accountable and make sure that you're always the best version of yourself, but they also add value to your life. They make you happy. They bring something different to the table. They're teaching you something. They're showing you something. This is something that you can't obtain anywhere else. Doug says, what is her name? Doug, I'm not going to give that woman no press. No, no, no. Not today, Satan. We will not be sending a whole bunch of booty hungry men over to that woman's page. Y'all ain't slick. Yeah, and I'm hating. I'm hating. We will not be sending none of you booty hungry men over there. Yeah, but it's crazy. Because the stuff that I say, it's not how can I say, groundbreaking. It's not, something that's different that you haven't heard before. It's common sense. This is common sense commentary. But sometimes, common sense ain't common with a lot of you. And people think that they are trendsetters and they're standing out. But you're standing out in what way? In what way are you setting the trend? Are you setting the trend in a positive way? Are you standing out in a good way or a bad way? And people just don't take the time to ask themselves this because they're too busy basking in the attention. And just because you get some attention doesn't mean that it's all good attention. You thinking, oh my God, look at these views, I'm blowing up. They might be there to see the train wreck because you're not teaching anything. You're not putting nobody up on nothing. You just toxic. Doug says, I'm good. It's too much ass splattered around Instagram. It is. Exactly, can't hide. Leave something to the imagination. And Eugene Steele says, what is scary is that there are little girls who look up to these ratchets. Precisely. So when I talk about a better class of women and that we need a better class of women, I do mean we need a better class of women. Because if we don't do something, it's going to be like the situation with Alice. We're not going to be able to recognize ourselves as human anymore because anything goes. What separates the humans from the animals is our ability to reason and think and have control over our lower desires. But now it just seems like there's no separation from the humans and the animals anymore. Everybody's tuned into their lower selves. Nobody has any self-control or containment. It's just like anything goes now. And we're trying to push this off as being hot. What Dr. Claude Anderson said, we participate in a lot of inappropriate behavior. And the inappropriate behavior becomes normalized. And that's what we're attempting to do when we cop please or we try to shame people for wanting to have some decorum about themselves. No, no, no. Like I said earlier, before you take that L, look around. Before you start apologizing to anybody, look around. You may, in fact, be surrounded by idiots. So just because everybody in the room is hollering, give us Barabbas, and you the only one that says, no, I think I'll take Jesus. Look around. You may, in fact, be surrounded by idiots. All right, Doug, you have a happy holiday as well. So no, boo, boo, boo. No, boo, boo. Everybody not jealous of you. Everybody not hating. Ain't nobody singling you out or none of that. It's just that maybe you might have farted in the car and people are pointing out that there's a smell and we need to open the window. So with that, I gotta say thank you guys for tuning in. If you are watching on the replay, please be sure to hit the like button. Please subscribe to the channel because that does keep me on top. And also support the channel monetarily by hitting that super thanks that is always available. And with that, I want to say, I love you and peace. I'm out. Holla.